You all know that I was been here fighting for him all morning long. And we did just get the news that he was one of the 11 that were hit and killed last night. His name was Cody Kaufman. My firstborn son. Only him and I know how much I love, how much I miss. Oh God, this is so hard. Oh son, I love you so much. Oh Heavenly Father, just please be with him.
What would you like to know about Cody?
Cody was the big brother that my kids need. I have a daughter coming on the 29th of this month that he was so excited to have his first sister, and not now she'll never know. Oh Cody, I love you, son.
Honestly, I don't know where to go from here. And to be even more honest, I don't believe there's a lot of people out there who actually know where to go from this point forward as well. I awoke Thursday morning, and before checking any media, turning on any TV set for the early shows, I did what I usually do. I took my dogs out for their morning tinkle. Didn't take long, just a few minutes. Came back in and followed what is basically my usual routine that early in the morning. Turned on one of the morning network shows, started making their breakfast, accompanied by what is usually background noise before I really started paying any attention whatsoever. As the monitor came to life, first words I heard, mass shooting. I stopped what I was doing in the kitchen, placed my hands on the edge of the counter, leaned in just a little for balance, put my head down. It took more than a moment while the words, more words, came pouring forth from the reporters. California, dance club, college kids, having fun, people enjoying life just like they do every Wednesday night at the same place. Bouncer, shot, gunfire, the familiar pop, pop, pop being heard. Bodies hitting the dance floor, people being interviewed who still had no idea where their friends were. The dad who talked about his kid going to the club that night and still not knowing where his son was. And of course, all we could assume was the worst, that this would be yet another parent, another member of a family who was on the verge of getting the news that their loved one was already gone, and another pine box would be ordered for yet another American mass murder in yet another American town, in yet another American senseless act of violence. So I made the fuzzy kids their breakfast, saw them all excited at the prospect of being fed and facing another day. After all, they'll never really know nor be able to understand violence like this. They are, after all, dogs. We shield them from a violent world at any and every cost, much like many of us seek to do with our human families. Like so many parents and so many caring people do for their kids, their loved ones, those who will never understand and those who will maybe one day grasp what's really happening around them. Then, of course, social media, which I have to say I'm pulling away from a little more every single day because of the vile pestilence and practiced hate that flourishes at every level and on every single platform, one way or another. Of course, there they were, the words we read and hear after every such occurrence, and we're so used to at this point, thoughts and prayers. In most cases, these are words very well intended. The majority of people who use those words simply don't know where else to turn, what else to say. They are caring people who for no reason, or maybe a certain reason, want to be heard amidst the din. They want to let it out in the hopes someone affected will read them and take some measure of solace. Sometimes words are about the only thing we can share with those we don't know, we've never met, yet are feeling their pain, and we want to offer them at least some form of comfort. But more often than not, thoughts and prayers are used as a hack cliche by those who, by their own actions and words, just couldn't give a damn about another mass killing here in America. Thoughts and prayers are used by those elected officials who get A+ ratings from the National Rifle Association, meaning they would never seek to undermine the gun cause by working on or even daring to cross their masters on any level of sensible gun control. Thoughts and prayers are used by those who make their living from such organized pestilence, like the fear-mongering NRA spokeswoman who authored a tweet Thursday morning and took only 7 words, to put the blame for the shooting not on the easy access of guns, not even on the shooter, but on the state of California for not having the proper gun laws. Thoughts and prayers are used by far too many people as a cruel joke, a sideshow admonition, a toss-off phrase, so they can crane their lying necks out for all to see and have themselves be noted as caring, when in effect at their core, they couldn't give a damn. The final strike on my morning, when the anchor made one statement, and it's one that made me think, should make you think too. You see, it used to be when we would mark the passage of time between mass shootings in years, then months, then weeks, but this time, days, dating back to the slaughter at the Pittsburgh synagogue. How long before we get down to hours, even minutes, between these instances? I genuinely weep for those people who will never see, talk to, touch their loved ones again, as I have many times in the last few years, when some of these events have touched me personally and far too close to home for many people to understand. But for those who lie with ease, using what for them is a crutch of thoughts and prayers, while doing absolutely nothing of substance to rectify or change in even the slightest manner the gun violence issue that has turned America into a daily shooting gallery, you have the permission of those who are truly trying to make a change and actually mean real thoughts and prayers backed by actions to be damned for all time, to be viewed as pestilence, to be marked as accomplices in the real war we should be fighting, not some phony electioneering invasion nonsense. You are the core of what is destructively eroding this nation with an acidic bile the likes of which we've never seen before. And trust me, there will be a reckoning. Someday, your meaningless thoughts and prayers will be drowned out with a drumbeat from those who understand the true meaning of those words. To those who lost family and friends in California and every other instance in such random acts of violence, remember the love, the smiles, the good times with those now missing. Hold those memories tight, because as long as you have them, they are truly never gone. And neither is the resolve to do everything we can as the living to ensure sooner or later it will be the final time to have such a discussion, to make thoughts and prayers actually mean something instead of being nothing more than just another campaign slogan. I'm Ed Berliner. That's the hard line. Rock on, true believers.